Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Amuta Chukwudi. Today I want to speak with us on a topic titled School Makes Students Poor. I repeat, school makes students poor. It's not as if school is bad. School is good to have formal education, but when there is too much emphasis on school as not seeing any other way or path which you can follow or combine with school to become successful in life, and you focus or concentrate only on school, it becomes a problem in life. The title is School Makes Students Poor. Now let's start with this. What is the purpose of going to school? Especially to get a tertiary education, university, polytechnic, or college of education like we have in Nigeria. What is the purpose of going to school? There are two reasons. The first one is to become illiterate. You can read and write very well, and for you to learn how to fit in very well in a civilized world. Now, the second reason, which is even more important reason, is to get a good grade so that you can get a certificate which you will now use to get a good job or a high-paying job. Now, what is the purpose of getting a job? The purpose of getting a job is so as to get money. Now, why do you get money? You need money to survive in this modern age and world. So, if the whole essence is to get money, the question now is this: why is it that money is not being taught in the university? Why is it not being taught in polytechnics and colleges of education and even in secondary and primary school, since that money is actually at the epicenter of the whole thing called education? Why is money not taught in schools? And the answer is very simple. Schools will not teach you about money. Schools will only teach you on how to become an employee. Schools will only teach you on how to come out and become dependent on the system. Now, what do I mean by this? If you follow the history of how West education, tertiary education was actually set up in till what we have in recent times, you will see that this whole thing started during the industrial age, the age of industrialization. The industrialists needed advanced workers who will follow instructions, a set of routines, so as to maximize their productivity. And as a result of that, they decided to plow in capital into the tertiary education system and gave them a curriculum which they built upon so that they can produce advanced workers who will go and work for the industrialists. Now, some of you will say, but they teach entrepreneurship in college of education, universities, and polytechnics. I have been to two universities, and I observed that the entrepreneurship that is being taught, number one, is just like every other course they teach in the university. They just throw a bunch of theories at you, and then many students even fail these courses, and then even they have to sort this same course. And another thing is that the lecturers who teach these courses, most of them have never had any experience of entrepreneurism in their life, thereby defeating the purpose of teaching the course. So you can see, school will not teach you about money. School will not teach you about money. School will only teach you on how to become an employee. So these industrialists actually influence the education system to create curriculum that does not involve the teaching of money, so as to create advanced workers that will enhance their own productivity and maximize their profits. Why would they teach students about money in school? It's not in the favor, it's not in the interest of the industrialists, because if you teach students about money, they will start learning how to think financially independent, and when they come out, they will not want to work for the entrepreneurs, they will not want to work for the industrialists. So you can see the foundation of this whole thing called education, Western education, is actually to produce advanced, dependent people on the system. So school makes students poor. You might say, I came out, I'm educated, at least I have a better social life, I am more educated than my parents, I make more money than my parents. That is actually part of their plan. Advanced workers with better life than those living in the rural areas, so as to feel comfortable such that they remain dependent on the system. Check it. 76%, over 76% of college graduates live from paycheck to paycheck when they get any job. They live from paycheck to paycheck. They don't save anything significant, even in the first 2-3 decades after they start working. The aim is to pay them just enough so that they will keep coming back, so that they cannot save enough to think independent. Because the very moment the college graduates begin to think financial independence, the number of people willing to work for the industrialists will begin to reduce. 76%, over 76% of college graduates who own a job live from paycheck to paycheck. So the question is this: how do you break away from this rat race system, from this matrix, excellently webbed or well-webbed system of economic dependence? Let me cite a quote from Warren Buffett. If you do not figure out a way to make money work for you, you may work till you die. So the only way to break out of this is by going for another type of education, which the industrialists deliberately, in collaboration with the politicians, deliberately removed from the educational system, which is the financial education. You need to go for financial education. You need to go for financial intelligence. You need to start reading books on financial education. You need to start following mentors and role models who broke away from this matrix, well orchestrated matrix, to keep people dependent on the system in the name of advanced education or tertiary education. You need to embrace this and judicially follow it stepwisely and practically. That is how to break away from the system. Otherwise, you may eventually be like any other person, another number in the huge statistics of those who have high tertiary education but remain largely dependent on the system because they are totally unaware of what has been rigged against them. The system is rigged against students. Remember this: schools make students poor. It is left to you for you to break away from that matrix. Thank you. My name remains Amuta Daniel Chukwudi. I am one of the best financial coaches in Africa, rising by the grace of God. Thank you and God bless you.